Hello, everybody. This is Jason, and this is another version of Off the Cuff. All right, this is going to be a good old-fashioned album review. I haven't done one of these for a while, and this is actually going to be for a new album, even though when you look at the condition of the album cover, it doesn't look like it's new because Amazon squashed it for me pretty good. Fortunately, the disc is in good shape, so that's the most important part. All right, so a lot of you are going to be, who's Johnny Marr? And that's a good question. Well, Johnny Marr was part of a seminal band that came out in the late 80s and maybe into the early 90s. I'm not sure about that, called The Smiths. The Smiths was Johnny Marr in that band, was the guitarist and one of the primary songwriters, along with the singer, who is Morrissey. And a lot of people know who Morrissey is. Morrissey has continued to have a good career and is massively popular. And I'm a fan of Morrissey and as well. And I'm not sure exactly what happened, but Johnny Marr and Morrissey had a split, and basically they went their separate ways. So Morrissey started in on his solo career, and Johnny Marr kind of dropped off the scene for a while. But about, I don't know, 6 or 7 years ago or so, Johnny Marr started making solo records. And while Johnny Marr's solo records are not like life changing great records, he's had a history of good, solid albums with really good songs. And Fever Dreams is a continuation of what he has been doing up to this point. Now, he has been, from what I understand, the concept was originally with Fever Dreams is he was going to do four separate EPs, and it's designed that way. If you notice where the songs are, they even have them split up in where they have them split up in groups of four, which is where the intended EPs were, and so you can see that it's full of 16 songs. The average side ends up being about 16 to 17 minutes. So if you think of this as being like this would be like two records, and part one, part two, part three, and part four. And in a way, if you do listen to this record, I would recommend that you break it up. So if you listen to, I would recommend you listen to like part one and part two, and then at a separate time listen to part three and part four. Because when you start crocking into the 60 plus minute range on this, it does get to be a little bit of it's just a little bit too much of things that are kind of too similar to one another. But that being said, there's some really shiny moments on this. Spirit, Power, and Soul, the opening track, is good. I really like Sensory Street, Hideaway Girl, Tenement Song. So this is a really good, solid album, and it's a continuation of what has been a nice solo career for Johnny Marr for the last about four albums or so that he's put out. And while there's nothing like, I would not say that there's any like particularly great or life changing songs on any of this. There's plenty of really solid material that reminds you of the strengths of the Smiths, especially the musical side of things, which was Johnny Marr's purview. Johnny Marr sings in all these tracks, and while he's not an outstanding singer, there's definitely nothing wrong with his voice. It's just good, solid material, and it's definitely worth investigating, you know. And Johnny Marr is one of the more interesting guitar players in terms of how he plays texturally, and he was a very big inspiration on a lot of different people. So if you listen to his playing, you can hear origins of a lot of what became a bedrock of a certain kind of sound that continued forward. That basically Johnny Marr was the person that came up with the sound bank to begin with. So I would give this a strong recommendation. To me, Johnny Marr will definitely be a guy that once I have all the records and discern through everything, he'll probably end up being a playlist guy or a best of guy. So while I will keep picking up the albums because there's enough good stuff on every album, if probably the best way to listen to him is going to be go through what you like, make a playlist, listen to the playlist. But, you know, definitely worth paying attention to. And if you're a fan of the Smiths, especially, uh, Johnny Marr's solo career is worth paying attention to. And, let's be realistic about this. Whatever Morrissey has to say, and I know there's a lot of people that love Morrissey, but Morrissey's a little nuts. And, you know, he's certainly talented, and I really do like his music, but in terms of as a person, Morrissey's a little nuts. So if you're eschewing Johnny Marr because Morrissey wants you to or something like that, I would strongly recommend that you don't do that. Anyway, have a great one, guys. Thank you. Goodbye.